two people closest to the former president during his time in office, Ivanka and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, they actually have been distancing themselves from Trump and his constant grievances.
They put this stuff in to create havoc. These are bad people. I know everything they're doing. I know every move they make. I get it. But a lot of people don't.
Ivanka Trump made the decision to permanently sever relations with her father, Donald Trump, when she finally lost it. She has been getting farther away from him ever since the hush money trial started. Trump is becoming even more alone now that he has been found guilty, since it is obvious that his loved ones are beginning to distance themselves from him.
The two people closest to the former president during his time in office, Ivanka and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, they actually have been distancing themselves from Trump and his constant grievances.
That includes campaigning for him. That includes, should he win, and being inside the...
Ivanka understands her dad may be challenging, but she still loves him despite that. According to The Insider, 41-year-old Ivanka puts her career and kids before politics and her father's seemingly insurmountable challenges. To be a part of Trump's tumultuous existence is simply too demanding. Following her father's declaration, Ivanka made it plain that she would not be supporting him in his 2024 presidential bid. She said, "This time around, I am choosing to prioritize my young children and the private life we are creating as a family," shortly after he finished speaking. But focusing on her kids seems like a bit of a stretch. She has probably grown tired of Trump and come to the conclusion that he was a terrible husband and parent.
Well, I spoke to several people who are close with Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, and they tell me that the couple is not going to be involved in potential Donald Trump's second run for the White House.
Ivanka has come to terms with his true nature and understands that it is best for everyone if she stays away from him. Ivanka and her family have reportedly been traveling for the past 3 months in an attempt to get away from the hostility in their neighborhood. She is aware that she is powerless to resolve her father's legal issues. The facts given leads one to conclude that Donald does what he wants, and she can't help him now. Attorneys and counselors are helping him. Despite her best efforts, he consistently disregarded her advice. To make up for the time she wasted navigating her father's emotionally exhausting, dramatic 4 years in the nation's capital, Ivanka feels she needs a fresh start. From 2017 until 2021, she and her spouse, Jared Kushner, served as President Trump's top advisors. Her main focus was on women and their families, empowering them economically through skill development.
Trump cut out of her father's Asia trip early to come back and make the case for the Republican Party's tax reform plan.
Women's participation in the workforce, which is a critical issue to the growth of the Japanese economy, but also something we're very focused on in our administration as well.
Workforce development, entrepreneurship, and other initiatives. She promoted economic growth and the creation of new employment opportunities. Regretfully, she pursued her father's political career and was equally unsuccessful, frequently making absurd claims. Nonetheless, the Trump name is very powerful. Besides, her time in the White House wasn't totally in vain. Apart from their purported $640 million in outside revenue while advising Trump, mainly by skirting conflict of interest regulations, Kushner's private equity firm also reportedly obtained a $2 billion investment from Saudi Arabia following their tenure in office. Even though they have experienced psychological suffering, they have fared extremely well financially.
A power couple when you can make this kind of money at the things you're not working at.
Money from fashion, from real estate, from investments, and more, more, more. The new documents reveal Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner may be much wealthier than previously known.
It should be emphasized that Ivanka never once denounced her father's horrible acts while he was president, including his fabrications about how the 2020 election was rigged and the violent uprising he incited that claimed many lives. After they had spent every single penny from the office, Ivanka stated on Instagram that she would not be participating in her father's third presidential bid, just as he was making the announcement. Jared and Ivanka's decision to stay absent is not supported by any evidence that they have accepted Trump's awful administration or feel bad about supporting him during his horrifying 4 years in office. Everyone is aware of his declining popularity and the damage to their reputations from working for him. They get agitated by that, and because they're occupied now, they want recognition for surviving the train catastrophe. What then has to be done by Trump right now? Though not even Trump is stupid enough to appoint him as an advisor or significantly involve him in his presidential campaign, there is still Donald Jr. You might wonder why. The explanation is that Jr. doesn't know anything at all. His father is more aware than he is that everything he says is an effort to surpass his own foolishness. Assume for the moment that Donald Jr. plays a crucial role in Trump's campaign. Consider it. It's like watching a live comedy act. Every time he opens his mouth to say something, the joke gets bigger and crazier. He's renowned for making mistakes. He might be shouting out some crazy conspiracy idea one minute and then mispronouncing some obvious facts the next. He seems to be attempting to break the record for the most facepalms in a single speech. Even while Trump has a lot of affection for his son, he is astute enough to see that showcasing Don Jr. is akin to handing a little child a microphone at a press conference. It may sound strange, but perhaps Ivanka wasn't as bad as we first believed after taking Jr. into account. Though she was by no means scandal-free, she was certainly not like her brother, the vocal and contentious one. With Ivanka gone, Trump is now without a surrogate who can project a somewhat constant picture. Though Trump may miss Ivanka's ability to diffuse hostilities, those days are gone, and he now has family members who, to be honest, make Ivanka appear composed. However, Eric is a stronger candidate than Jr. to be called the worst of the worst. He may have demonstrated his intelligence, or lack thereof, by remaining steadfastly loyal to Trump through good times and bad. Whereas Melania and Ivanka did not appear in court during the trial.
Made an appearance, there was a lot of support from those folks, but the two women that the former president is arguably the absolute closest to, his wife Melania and his daughter Ivanka.
One other interesting courtroom note, these first 2 days, not a single member of the former president's family has been there with him. That includes his wife.
They were absent, you may have noticed, throughout the entire trial, and they were radio silent on social media through all of it until the end.
Eric was there each day to support his father. Only Eric doesn't seem to care about achieving their own objectives among his relatives. It is obvious that he is not getting anything from his decision, regardless of whether he stayed out of loyalty, inexperience, or for any other reason. Though there's plenty of evidence to say otherwise, his unflinching support for his father seems to indicate that he thinks this will change things. Eric posted something on Memorial Day that went viral on social media, with some people calling it offensive even by Trump family standards. Eric's Memorial Day post was a massive flop. Many were incensed by it, believing it to be inconsiderate and impolite rather than courteous and respectable. Not very long ago, he shared a picture of the Trump family on social media with the caption, "They gave up everything to save America." With a flourish of his own, Eric said, "And we'll do it again." This left everyone wondering how the Trumps saved the United States, which was not surprising.
Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, is facing backlash this morning after some recent social media posts. After one user posted a photo of the Trump family with the caption, "The family that gave up everything to save America, thank you," Eric Trump reposted it, writing, "And we will do it again."
Sincerely, when did Donald Trump, his father, manage to avert a national emergency? He appeared more concerned about ruining it than about trying to fix it. That's just our view. The tweet featured pictures of Donald Trump Jr. and his fiancée Kimberly Guilfoyle, Eric Trump and his wife Laura, and Donald Trump and Melania Trump. It was clear from the picture that Ivanka Trump and her spouse Jared Kushner were not there. It wasn't only us who thought the post was repulsive. The remark received harsh criticism from many people who pointed out how disrespectful it was, especially in light of the fact that Memorial Day weekend is all about remembering the sacrifices made by American soldiers. Adam Kinzinger, a former Air Force second lieutenant and ardent Trump critic, was compelled to voice his opinions. He said on social media, "I have to make an exception for this, but I wasn't going to tweet anything political this weekend. No member of your family has made any sacrifices. It was quite bold of you to tweet this over the weekend. Your name will become associated with Benedict Arnold. You have no idea what service entails because you are so young." Trump responded with a tweet that Bill Kristol, a conservative pundit, deemed especially repulsive to publish on Memorial Day weekend. The rage was not over yet. I'll be honest, Eric was the one who deserved all of the furious remarks that followed. If that was all there was to it, this drama might have ended in a single day. But Eric went with the much more repulsive option. They tweeted about a massive Memorial Day sale, directing followers to Trump's official campaign store. Among the Memorial Day-themed merchandise that shoppers may buy at a 25% discount are flags with Donald Trump and Mike Pence, beer mugs, and caps with the words words, "Make America Great Again." It seems more like a joke to me. Even while many businesses use Memorial Day to boost sales, not everyone was impressed with the Republican National Committee's efforts to raise money for Trump's presidential campaign and his legal expenditures related to the porn star case. That is way over the top. After Trump's conviction, the Trump family's activities are now a mystery. Melania Trump should leave Trump, according to Stormy Daniels, but the president says their relationship has actually been stronger because of his conviction. What does it have to do with the truth? Melania's quiet says a lot. There have been conjectures that Donald's conviction has contributed to reducing hostilities between Melania and Ivanka, two of his relatives who have purportedly supported him. After her father was found guilty, Ivanka sent a brief message indicating her support. "I love you, Dad." She accompanied her statement with an Instagram story picture of herself and Trump from their early years.
Trump was convicted. Ivanka did finally post on her Instagram story. It was a short message. You may have noticed it yesterday. It is right there. We're going to put it up for you.
She's not helping him in that manner at all. Her husband, on the other hand, became the first president to be found guilty of 34 crimes at once. Despite Trump's assertions to the contrary, his actions always speak louder than his words. Even though he would rather avoid the spotlight, Melania nails the empathetic role. He can't resist talking about her, even when she isn't present. In response to a query on Melania Trump's health during an appearance on Fox and Friends, Trump stated, "She's fine, but I think it's very hard for her. She's okay, but reading all this garbage is driving her insane."
They put this stuff in to create havoc. These are bad people. I know everything they're doing. I know every move they make. I get it. But a lot of people don't. It's tougher. I think it's probably, in many ways, it's tougher on my family than it is in me.
How's Melania doing?
She's fine, but I think it's very hard for her. I mean, I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason. They do that, all these salacious names that they put in.
According to news sources, Trump is spending all of his time by himself in his Trump Tower apartment, and that Melania hasn't even paid him a visit since the verdict. His loneliness is overwhelming, so he steps outside and waves to a crowd of uninvited fans.
See you later.
It really hurts my feelings.